Hello, everybody. Thanks for joining me for this talk about what's new in sales and online payment. My name is Damien Lanzy. I'm the product owner for these two modules. So I'm very happy to be here with you to present all the new features that we will bring in Odoo 17 for you. I'm very proud of what we did. I hope you will also enjoy everything. So let's start with the sales module. You have to know that sales is one of the oldest modules in Odoo. It is very stable because it's a great module. It is simple, it is easy to use, and yet it is powerful, and we want to keep it that way. But there is always place and room for improvement. So our focus is always the same. We want to help people to do more in less time. And that's exactly what we did this year. We started by thinking, okay, who are the users who are struggling with sales module? And it was clear for us that for users using a keyboard on their desktop, the sales module is very easy to use and very efficient because you can use a shortcut with your keyboard. But for someone who is outside on the field, it's not the same music. So we started to ask ourselves, how can we help outside sales? And we were convinced that even if outside sales are not our main target for this module, if we can help them, if we can reduce friction for them, if it can be very easy to use sales module on a mobile, then it will benefit for all other users too. So we're starting to think about what are the bottlenecks, what are the pain points for person who is working on a mobile. And clearly we identify some points that I wrote it there. So the first of all, of course, is that creating a quotation on a mobile is very slow. You have to add product one by one, and it takes time, and you cannot take time when you are in front of your customers. So it's not acceptable. We had to do something about that. It's also very difficult to create a discount on that quotation. So discount is really important for salesperson, so we had to do something. And we also noticed that a lot of businesses like to share documents alongside their quotation. So for example, let's say you are selling a swimming pool or solar panel. When you will send the quotation to your customer, you want to provide to the customers nice description of why your product is better than other products. You want to provide some technical description, and if you have to do that with your mobile, it's a nightmare. But even on the desktop, if you have to each time go in your computer to look for the files, then you will waste a lot of time. So we were sure that it could be improved. Then we have some limitation on the customer portal, because on the customer portal we have this great feature allowing your customers to confirm the quotation you send to them by simply signing or paying. But sometimes they don't want to pay the complete amount, and sometimes you as contractor, for example, you don't want to start working on the project of your customer if he didn't pay at least a piece of the amount, so you can start buying furniture to start the work. And this was not possible to do easily on Odoo, and we had to do something about that. Finally, when you are not outside sales, you have tons of quotation to deal with, and the follow-up of this quotation has to be very efficient, and it was not always the case. So let's stop talking, and it is already time for a demo. Let's dive into our great product. Let's play with Odoo. So for this demonstration, let's assume I'm a sales person working at Stealthywood. Stealthywood is a company that is manufacturing office furniture, and I am here at Brussels Expo with you guys to fill this place with ton of furniture. So at the end of the month, I get a big bonus and I can go on holiday. So let's pretend I'm on a tablet. I will not use the keyboard and see how I can easily create a quotation. So here I enter the sales, and of course, by default, I land on the quotation list. I can click on new. I can easily find Brussels Expo as customer, but I could have typed to find him. So let's select Brussels Expo, and I will select a quotation template, because here at Stealthywood we have 3 products that we always sell. So by adding this quotation template, these products are already in my quotation, and I win some time. So now I can already start discussing with the customer, and adding product based on the needs of this customer. So I have this new catalog button that will allow me to browse all my products in my catalog, and I see the products that are already inside the quotation, and I can simply click on cards like this, and I can click multiple times to add products in my quotation. I can of course remove. I can click directly on the input to put more product if you need, because you don't want to click a lot of time on the same card. So I can look like this. If I have a lot of product, I can search based on the category of my product. So I want to see only the desk. I would add this one. Okay, I will add 10. Nope. 10 like this, and that's it. We discuss. I add the product. When I finished, I can go back to the quotation, or I can maybe filter to see the product that are inside the quote only. I can verify that everything. Oh, there missed something. I will add something more. Okay, like this, and we can discuss. And finally, I go back to my quotation, and we can start talking about the price. So as you can see, there is all these products that are in my new quotation for my customer, and I have this new button to apply a discount. Because it's a big quotation, a big order, I want to offer 10% discounts on all the lines of my order. This will apply this 10% on all lines. You have to notice that it will override the discount that were already on these lines. And if you want to avoid that, if you want to add an extra discount on top of the discount of the lines, you can select the global discount here. And let's say that I say to you, if you accept this quotation in the 3 next days, I will apply a 5% discount more for you. So I apply it like this. And as you can see, there is a new line with this discount. So we are done already. So I can send this by email to you, and we can look at it together while we are still on your place, while we are still here at Brussels Expo. So now let's see what the customer receive. So the first thing that you can notice is that we completely revamped the customer portal. So how nice it is now. It is really neat. So in this customer portal, the customer can find all the sales order he already made, the invoice, and if I refresh, then we have this alert on the top saying that I have a quotation to review. So if I click here, I will find this new quotation, and as you can see, there are the product, there are the price, the discounts, but also a list of documents that has been shared with me. And when I was doing before the quotation on my tablet, I didn't have to do anything to share this document. So that was very, very powerful, very easy. I can also download the PDF that I received by email, but I can find it here if I lost it. And as you can see, it's no more the simple PDF with only the list of price. Now we have a nice description of Stealthy Wood, the name of the quotation, my name, your name as customer. Then we have a description of all the service of Stealthy Wood and why you should choose us. Then we also have description of each product that are in my quotation. Not all of them, but those that require such a description. Then finally we have the tables as we know. And at the end we can still add some information about testimonials, previous customers, certification, or for example, terms and condition. And I had to do nothing to get that. I simply added the product in my tablet. I send it to you, the customer, and here we are already have all this information shared in no time. So this is very powerful. Now with this great PDF quote, how could I not accept this? So I will right away sign and pay, so I get the discount, the extra discount. So let's sign. And then let's pay. And as you can see, I'm not forced as customer to pay the entire amount of the quotation. I can pay only 30% to confirm this quotation, which I will do right away like this. I enter the card information. Here I'm using demo payment method, but we'll see that later on the second part of this talk, and I will pay. And hopefully the payment will be processed and I will have my order confirmed. And as you can see, I already have the invoices with my down payment because I only paid for 30% of it. So my quotation is confirmed. I have the invoice with the down payment, and the salesperson has nothing to do. So let's now go back in the backend and see how everything has been configured to arrive at this level of efficiency. So here I am on my database as the salesperson, and let's check the settings. So now we have introduced the PDF code builder. This is the feature allowing to define a header in header pages in all your quotation and footer pages, so with the description of my company, and then with the testimonials and the terms and conditions. But we also see that there was some PDF, some document description. So for that, let's go directly on a product and see how this happens. So for example, acoustic block screen. Here on top, I have the stat button documents. I click, and here I have a document, and this document is defined as visible at inside quote. It means that this document will be put inside the quote. So between the header pages with the description of my company and the table, you can put all the document, the description document of your product that are defined as inside quote. But there are more possibilities. You can select visible at quotation. In that case, the document will not be in the PDF quote, the PDF of your quote, but will be just attached so your customer can find it. So for example, if you want to share technical description, you don't want it to be in the nice PDF of your quote, but you want your customer to be able to easily access it, and you don't want having to send it yourself. Finally, there is the confirmed order visibility. In that case, the document will only be shared with your customer if the quotation is confirmed as an order. So if he already paid, so for example, if you want to share paid content, or if you want to share a user guide or user notice that you don't need to send before when you are only on the quotation. So we also see that it was possible to pay only 30%. So for my customer, to pay only 30% of the amount. And so we have these new settings, prepayment amount. So when you activate online payment, you can say, okay, I want only 30% to confirm the quotation. And if you have the automatic invoice settings activated, as we have here, the down payment invoice will be automatically generated and give to your customer. So that's very, very easy to configure, and you will win a lot of time. So now let's see what else we have. We have now the calendar view. This view was showing the order when they were created before, and it was not really interesting for customer. So now you can directly see that you have something to do on that sale order based on the activity defined on this sale order. So for example, if you wanted to schedule an activity to check if the customer accepts the discount or not in the 3 days, you can just schedule that, and then when you start your days, you see, okay, what am I supposed to do today? What else? So in the following, when you have a lot of quotation, sometimes you have to cancel a lot of them, and it was painful because you had to do it manually one by one. But now if you select several quotation or all, you can click on action and cancel all the quotation at once. That's really simple, but you can win a lot of time with this kind of feature. And if you want, you can also create an invoice directly like this. And we have this new feature thanks to the community. This feature allows you to say, okay, if I have several orders for the same customer, do I want it to be regrouped on one invoice, or do I want to keep the invoices split? So let's now see if I didn't. Yes, I forget something. This is not really something in relation with this, the use case of the stealthy wood office furniture, but we added a new type of attribute, the multi-valued attribute. So if I select the large desk, you will see that here I have a list of options for that desk. I can say, okay, I want to add a guarantee of 1 year. I want to add the toolkit to assemble this table. I want the cover kit and I want the protection kit, and all these options are on the same attributes, and each time I add one, it will increase the price. So this is simple to configure. You just have to go in the attributes, and we have this new display type multi-checkbox option. It will work on e-commerce, on point of sale for restaurant, and in the sales application as well. So you can define the extra price here and everything will work fine. So I think that's all for sales. So let's go back to our slides and see if I forgot something. So we discussed all these. Yes. Calendar view, cancel. Yes. Multi-value add. So now it is time to speak about online payment. So the online payment module did evolve a lot in the past few years, but only in one way. This way is adding new providers, so we could increase the coverage of Odoo in all of the world. So we didn't take much time to work on the module itself, and we really wanted to do that this year. So this year, instead of adding provider, we will be focused on pain points of the module. And the major pain points is the fact that payment methods were completely inexistent in Odoo and not handled at all. It means that if you have to configure the payment methods on your provider, you will not see them really in the configuration of Odoo, and that was a problem for some points, like you don't know what are the methods supported by Odoo for each provider, because it's not because one provider support tons of methods that we also support them. So this was not clear, and now we want to bring more clarity on that. You also had to configure the provider directly, and you had to define on the provider if you can refund or if you can tokenize. But sometimes for one provider, the tokenization is not supported by all the payment methods, so you had to duplicate your provider, and it was a nightmare. So we wanted to solve this problem. And also the last problem is that in the payment form, the customer had to select a provider and not a method. And it's not very clear for them. So again, there was some workaround to do that, but it was difficult to handle, and we wanted to make it more easy. The final point is that we considered that the payment form was not really beautiful, so we wanted to work on that too. So let's go back to Odoo and see how this can be configured now. So if I go to configuration, I will have the list of payment providers. So on this database, I have 2 providers installed. The demo provider, which has been improved this year a lot. So now this demo provider provides you all the features like express checkout, like tokenization. So if you want to do a demonstration about the possibility of the payment on Odoo, you can definitely use this one. We also added a second payment provider just to have a demonstration with 2 providers. And if I go now, I have this payment method list where I can activate and deactivate the methods that are supported by my provider. So you have to know that one method can be supported by only one provider, but if I go to mobile pay is supported by 2 providers, Stripe and ADN, and in this database, ADN is disabled. But you also have to notice that payment methods can be supported sometimes only in several countries. So let's say you activate this Afterpay and you try to use it on a sales order with euro currency or not in this country, you will not see that payment method. What else? As we can see, one payment method can be supported by several providers. It means that if you have 2 providers supporting the same payment method, we don't have to put this payment method twice in the payment form. And of course, we only keep the first one that will arrive based on the order of your provider. So let's see how it works. So, okay, last thing, if you have payment methods like card, card is a generic term, so you may want to add some logo on card to to give a visual tips for your customers. So for example, in this database, Visa, MasterCard, American Express, Discover and Maestro are activated. It means that in the payment form, I will see the logo of MasterCard and Visa and American Express. So let's go back to the payment form. So if I go here on manage my payments, I can save I can save the token to use later, and I can see only the payment methods that support the tokenization. So there was PayPal configured in the database, but it does not support tokenization, even if it is provided by Stripe, who support the tokenization. But now I cannot see PayPal here. I can select card. As I said, you can see the different logo of the brands. I can enter my information, and the payment formula is really clean, and it's really easy to use and easy to configure now. So I think that's all. Here is the list of new features. So we saw the global one. There are local improvements, but it's not really interesting for us today. But take a look if you are interested. And of course, if you want to know more about all the small features and all the small changes that we do, I invite you to consult the release notes. They are very complete, and the documentation as well. So thanks you for watching me. Thank you for your attention. I hope you enjoy it, and I hope to see you soon on next year.
Yes, there is no possibility today to say, if I add this product, automatically add an optional with
Right.
it. But that's something we are thinking about.
Ooh, nice. Okay. Do you have price or packages differences based on the country, or the option to customize that?
Yes, of course, we have the price lists. So you can create different price lists. You can say that you can configure it and say, okay, this price list is only for these countries, and it will be automatically applied to your customer based on where they are. It can change the currency, of course, of the prices. So I think that's what
Perfect.
they need.
Okay. How can we set a fixed amount on a down payment? It's not user friendly to guess the percentage of the sales total amount.
Yes. So for now, it's not possible to say I always want $500 dollar as down payment. So you cannot configure it that way. We consider that if you don't want to do it manually each time, so you will say, okay, 30% is always the good range of down payment I want. And the reason is that as you are using online payment feature behind, for the customer having to pay 500.57, it's not good when they have to do it manually with wire transfer. You want to have something rounded. But as everything is automatic here, for the customer, it doesn't change anything if the down payment is not a rounded number. That's our guess for now. Because of course it would require more complexity to introduce the concept of what type of rounding do you want, etc. But so that's not in standard, but yes. So the other option is to compute the percentage based on the amount you want. So for example, if I do here, I can configure that for this specific order, I can change the prepayment amount. So the settings that we saw before are just a template, but you can configure it. And here you can use the power of Odoo to say, okay, I want a percentage, but I will compute it like it's. I want the right number. You can compute it, and it will transform you your computation with the right percentage.
Okay. So is the down payment option available on e-commerce, for example, B2B?
No, not yet.
Okay.
I know the product owner of e-commerce is listening, so.
Okay. In the payment methods, can you filter by country, currency, to find which provider I should use?
Yes. So that's what I saw, that I showed before. So in the list of payment methods here, you can of course filter based on the countries if you want. Um, Supported countries. So you can do a filter. Uh, but yes, so
Mm.
we don't have any time. But yes, you can find here the supported countries. Here, what are the providers for them? So yes.
Okay, cool. Well, thank you for your talk. Thank you for
Thank you
the
for
answers.
listening.
Thanks.